presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Black Horse. We are MC.
Royals baseball from Kauffman Stadium on a beautiful Sunday afternoon. We had 7 hours of baseball last night. If the Royals can win today, they'll take 3 out of 4 from the Minnesota Twins. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the ballpark with Rex Hudler. I'm Ryan Lefevre. Joe Goldberg is coming up. Well, it's the same team. It's mostly the same guys, but the Royals in April are completely different from the Royals in June.
And especially the results. But in this game, it takes time to get your tempo down, to get your swing down. It takes almost 200 at-bats sometimes for hitters to find their groove. But man, are they. They've got power. They've got guys that can set the table and get on base. And they've got the run producers who can drive them in. So fun to see this offense, and we know it's going to continue. Look forward to it.
Overall, the Royals are at 4.1 runs per game this season. But since June 1st, we're talking 5.4 runs per game. That is 5th best in the American League. They have more home runs before the All-Star break this year than in any other season. Now to the mound. We'll talk about Travis Wood when we come back. He'll be making his first start as a Royal today. Or less. Well, it's easy to forget that in spring training, Travis Wood and Nate Carnes were competing for the 5th spot in the Royals starting rotation. There's been some opportunities for the Royals to use Travis Wood as a starter, but he got off to a slow start. The timing seems to be right now.
Right. We just talked about offense and how that takes timing with the round ball and the round bat. Same way with pitching. Pitching and hitting are so much the same. Wood got up to the tough start, so look, they picked their spots to put him in until the 7-year veteran got himself right. He knows exactly what to do, and now a spot start came open. Why not insert him in there, continue his hot streak, throwing zeros up there? That's all that matters.
Good numbers for Travis Wood. Good numbers for the Royals beginning May 1st. We'll talk about how experience has played a role in the Royals turnaround. Against the Minnesota Twins today. You know, maybe you're like me in that you still think of these guys as kids because it wasn't that long ago that they were called up, but they've been through a lot. And it doesn't seem like that long ago that if the Royals had a 9-game losing streak in April, we'd be talking about who's going to be returning punts for the Chiefs this fall.
Yeah, thankfully, we're past those days. Where these guys have been in the last 7 years, Ryan, with their careers, it's been accelerated. It's not compared to a human life. You go so much quicker that your career is going to be over. But where they've been to the mountaintop 2 years in a row, these guys know how to turn things around. They know how to be the winners, and they've shown that. So their DNA is helping them during this time here where they're trying to find themselves again, find that dominance. But it's up to the veterans to lead the young, and we all know that works.
Joel's coming up next. He'll talk about something we haven't mentioned in a long time, and that is, how do you beat the Minnesota Twins?
is new, but not a first for him. It'll be his first start since September 9th, 2015. A lot of starts in his career, but a reliever over the last couple of seasons. Joel Goldberg back down here on the field. And for the Royals, and they began the year up in Minnesota and it did not go well against the Twins, but things have changed more recently. So while the numbers at this point look more lopsided, that was that awful start against Minnesota the first couple of series. It has been much better of late, and if you were to break it down over the last series, over this weekend, the Royals have had plenty of success, especially from an offensive standpoint. Remember, this is a Twins team that didn't see the June type of offense from the Royals. Our Kubota Power Stats shows what has been a continuing trend. May, big time it through June and into July, as the Royals with 6 more home runs yesterday in that doubleheader. Now 98. That is the most by a Royals team before the break. Today, they try to do something they've done a lot of lately. Win series, and they'll go for that coming up next on Fox Sports Kansas City.
Brought to you by the Missouri Lottery. Every ticket played gives back to Missouri schools, so play it forward with the Missouri Lottery. By Menards, save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. And by the Chevy Silverado, the most dependable, longest-lasting full-size pickup on the road. Find yours at your local Mid-America Chevy dealer. 87 degrees, mostly sunny, some hazy clouds in the area, about 89 for a high today, and we're not going to see 90 degrees here in Kauffman Stadium or in Kansas City until Thursday. The Royals, after the game today, will head to the West Coast and play 3 games at Seattle and then 3 games in Los Angeles. Royals won the first 2 with the Minnesota Twins. Minnesota won the second game of the doubleheader last night 10-5, so a victory today, and the Royals can take 3 out of 4. That would be 6 series victories in their last 7. It would also put them in a second place tie with the Twins, 2 games out behind Cleveland. Cleveland, by the way, leads in Detroit 3-0. They're in the top of the 3rd inning. And here is Travis Wood, who has plenty of experience as a major league starter. Joel just told us he hasn't started in 2 seasons, and this will be his first as a Royal.
Yeah, I bet he's really looking forward to it. But before this short little 4-game series started, if you would have told Ned Yost and you'd have said, Ned, you guys are going to have a chance to win 3 out of 4 on your final game on Sunday, he would say, yeah, that's exactly where we want to be. Take another series. Fastball, cut, fastball, changeup, slider, curve. He's a crafty lefty. He knows how to pitch. He's in his 7th big league season, and the reason the Royals picked him up is because of his experience, his knowledge. Got off to a slow start this year. Who hasn't? It's not an easy game to play. But Wood's got confidence now. His last several relief outings have been outstanding, enough to get him this start. This is a big moment for him. He wants to help keep his team in the game, and hopefully that offense will supply him with some run support.
Brian Dozier is back in the lineup today. He was out for the 2nd game of the doubleheader last night. For the Minnesota Twins, this is the end of a long road trip, a 3-city, 11-game road trip, and it's the sighting game of the trip for them. They are 5-5 through Cleveland, Boston, and KC.
Ford around the horn defense. Alex Gordon's getting his 2nd career start in center field, and I don't think there's anybody in this ballpark on either team that's more happy than him. Loves it. It's a great position to play. It's fun. No lines can restrict him. He doesn't have to worry about the wall. He's a fantastic athlete and one of the most popular Royals of all time. And by the way, he has 79 career outfield assists. That's the most in baseball since 2010. He's got skills.
Home plate umpires, the crew chief Mike Everett, Shane Leibensparger at first, Jordan Baker at second, and Bruce Dreckman is at third. And with all that, we are ready to go. And the first pitch is inside to Brian Dozier. Dozier's 2 out of 9. He's driven in 2 in the series. So far, a much more quiet season series against the Royals compared to last year. 2 balls and no strikes. Last season he had 11 home runs against the Royals. That's the most for any player ever against the Royals in a single season.
Certainly was dynamic year for the home run ball for him. Maybe his career year, we don't know. He's still young. Let's see if Wood can get in that strike zone here early now.
His biggest issue this year has been walks, and that started in the Royals' first game at Minnesota. Got the call there from Mike Everett. 3 balls and 1 strike.
Dozier, a .338 hitter against southpaws this year. He likes them. 2 out of his 13 homers are from the off of lefties. I don't know if he got that. I don't think so.
Soler back in left field.
It's a way to get back into the count there.
Travis Wood has made 133 major league starts. He came up as a starter with the Cincinnati Reds and was mostly a starter with the Chicago Cubs up until last year when he pitched exclusively out of the bullpen. So this is very much familiar territory for him, and there's a good cut fastball over the inside to Robbie Grossman. So 133 starts, 151 relief appearances.
Almost the same. So he would probably call himself a pitcher. That's what he does. He pitches. He doesn't throw. In any role he'll accept. He's a battler, country boy, likes to play hardball. That's basically it. And he's taken this opportunity here and going to make the most of it. He tries hard, sometimes too hard, like he did early when he first started towing the slab for the Royals. You could see he was hyperventilating in Houston with the Astros, against the Astros, and he was really trying hard, and it wasn't working. Baseball, that backfires on you. Usually, the more relaxed are the ones who are successful.
Salvi wants a changeup down and away. That's exactly where it is. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
And it sure helps when you have a quarterback out there like Salvador Perez, and he can just guide the ship. You don't have to worry about anything. Just execute your pitches. Let Salvi control the game plan.
2-2. Salvi got the entire game off in the nightcap of the doubleheader. Great spot. 2 down.
So far, love Wood's tempo. Like him getting that ball up there and throwing it. He's not messing around. That's good. Your defenders that are out there on a hot day painting the corner like that. Look at that. Grossman, you got to go. Those guys out there sitting out there in that hot sun, look, they're ready to field for him, especially when you're quick to home. Keeps you on your toes. Keeps you from daydreaming.
Joe Mauer with 2 down. And that's at the knees for a strike. Our Toyota League leaders as Wood faces his first left-hand batter. Among active pitchers, he is 4th best against lefties in his career. And look at the names in front of him. Kershaw, Sale, Bumgarner.
Slider, curveball, those are all effective against lefties. The cutter, though, is usually used against right-handers to jam them inside, but he'll throw that cutter too on the outer half of the plate to lefties and make it break off the plate. So he's got a couple of different ways to get left-handers out. Molitor saying, "Excuse me, sir, but I'm trying to hit. Could you please buzz somebody else's tower?" Yeah, it's pretty distracting. It's hard enough to focus up there when you got a bee around you.
One and 2 on Mauer.
There's only 4 Minnesota Twins who have ever seen Wood before, and that sample size is not very much. Castro batting 9th, the catcher, is just 1 for 4 in his career. So there's not very many Twins who have seen him.
Two and 2. Well, this should tell you how much trouble he's had with the Twins. 4 relief outings this year, which covered 2 innings. And 5 walks in those 2 innings, 2 earned runs. On the ground to Merrifield. No trouble so far today. 3 up, 3 down for Travis Wood. And it'll be Witt, Bonifacio, and Hosmer coming up. First 3 games of the series with Minnesota. After the long day and night yesterday, Mike Moustakas is out of the lineup. Ramon Torres is at third. Lorenzo Cain is out of the lineup. I told you about Alex Gordon getting a chance in center. Today the Royals will see left-hander Hector Santiago.
Hector's had some issues this year. That ERA climbing over 5. 15 home runs. He's allowed at least 1 home run in all of his 7 outings. So you can check him out. Look up in the zone. He's not overpowering. He's a left-hander with a fastball, change, curve, cut fastball, slider. He's had some success with his fastball. That's good when the Royals are a fastball hitting team. A little bit deceptive. See, he has a little crossfire. That step that he has, he steps across the rubber and then his arm comes the other way, so there's some deception there.
That'll be out of play. 1-2. Merrifield has a 5-game hitting streak. He has an 8-game hitting streak against the Twins. He's done well against Minnesota in his career with a base hit, at least one base hit in 15 of his 16 games against Minnesota. Still 1-2.
Santiago, he's had issues too. I mean, he hasn't gotten a lot of run support. His last win was May 9th against the White Sox, so it's been a while since he's led his team to victory. And the Royals are do everything they can to pressure him, pressure that defense. He's been up in the zone here in this at bat in his 4 pitches here. See if you can jump him early.
2-2. Got it off the end of the bat. Polanco out from short. Called off by Buxton. 1 down.
You saw Buxton. He's the definite captain out there in the outfield for sure. But the young 23-year-old Polanco has been a defensive wizard in this series. Man, he's made some beautiful plays. Very quick. He shows a strong arm. He shows a nice aptitude on the knowledge of the infield, how to charge ground balls. He looks good. Just a youngster. They like him.
Bonifacio with 1 out. Down and away for ball 1. Long run for Grossman and for Mauer, and it's on the warning track and back into the crowd. It says changeup, but some would say Santiago throws a screwball. He'll turn it over, depending on your interpretation of his off-speed pitch.
Yeah, and you know that changeup, it's a fooler. It moves away from the righties most of the time, but if you put a little bit extra turnover, a little torque, it'll go even more. And veteran pitchers, they know how to manipulate the baseball a lot better than younger guys. They've been around, know how to every little inch on that ball.
Drilled to left field. Rosario toward the corner. He's got it. 2 outs. Eric Hosmer is the designated hitter today. 7 runs driven in, 3 home runs against Minnesota, 2 in this series. Santiago, a lefty, has had a lot of trouble with left-hand batters. That's the highest average of any lefty, and it's by over 100 points in the next closest guy. Interesting that list of pitchers there, pitchers who've had the most trouble with left-hand batters this year, are all lefties.
Yeah, you know, sometimes it's hard to tell about a different statistic, but overall watching, they said he went. Overall watching, usually it's because a left-handed pitcher facing a left-handed batter is going to throw mainly breaking balls away, because there's not a lot of lefties in the game. So left-handed hitters aren't used to facing lefties, and those pitches that are left up out of the plate are easier to hit. So they make more mistakes at times because most left-handed starters are used to facing righties. They're not really, a lot of managers don't put lefties in there. But Haas, you saw his splits. He's having just an excellent season, hitting 300 from both lefties and righties. And that's why.
Slice to left and down in front of Rosario.
He uses the whole field. You use the whole field, you hit for a higher average. That's a nice little fastball. Didn't try to do too much with it. Haas with a big, long wingspan. His arms are long. He's got long legs. Earlier in the season, he was struggling in April because he was trying to find that rhythm between his body and his hands, and he seems to have found it and stayed with it.
Salvi with a runner at first, 2 down. Big, slow breaking ball. And Salvi, just like Hosmer's had a big year against Minnesota. 5 home runs, 11 driven in. He's had a big career against the Twins. He has more home runs and RBIs against Minnesota than any other opponent in his career. Didn't mean to do it. 0-2.
Going to get a lot of those, a lot of cutters in. He's up on the plate anyway. You don't want him to get extended. He's gotten 5 hits in his career, totally off of Santiago, and 2 of those have been homers. That first hanging breaking ball, that's the one that Salvi can look for, because I think Santiago does not want to give him a fastball up and out over the middle of the plate. He's going to throw cutters in and soft breaking balls away.
Still 0-2.
You elevate by design. That high fastball usually, sometimes it sets up a little screwball changeup on the outer half of the plate.
Pulled to third. Escobar is there today for Minnesota, and the Twins get the force on Hosmer at second base. 1 inning, no score at Kauffman Stadium. Season as Twins manager. They are finishing up a long road trip. Academy Sports and Outdoors leaderboard shows us that they've done well on the road this year. Only the Astros have a better road record, and look at the team below them, Cleveland. So the top 2 teams in our division have been better on the road than they've been at home. Minnesota is 9 games below 500 at home this year. And with 25 wins already. That's just 4 wins shy from their total of all of last year. One and one on Miguel Sano.
I think last year you could learn from it, but they put that way in the back of their mind. They only won 29 road games all year last year.
There's a base hit into shallow right field for Sano. Broke his bat, but he is so strong. So he's on to begin the top of the second inning.
Sound will tell you. Shattered it.
Strike to Escobar. He's at third base, so Sano can be the designated hitter. And it's 0-2. Molitor has 3 switch hitters in the lineup today and a 4th on his bench, Kenny Vargas. Whoa. Eric Hosmer might have a problem with that. Third base umpire Bruce Dreckman said he went around on a check swing, and that looked like a swing there for Escobar.
Like he committed.
Up the right field line and foul by a foot. Travis Wood is the 11th starter for the Royals. Now, if you and I were having a discussion in spring training, HUD, and I said on July 2nd the Royals will be using their 11th starting pitcher. Here they are. That would be a bad sign.
You would say, uh-oh, what happened?
Right. But they've held it together. The Royals have the 4th best starters ERA in the American League. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Escobar.
It's been impressive what they've done, and they'll be the first to tip their cap when a great defensive play is made. The defense has helped.
"11 starters is the most since 2012, when the Royals used 13 starters, but that was the whole season. This is 11 before the All-Star break. Today is game number 81. So this is the midpoint of the season. Royals team record is 17 starters in 2006. Good pitch in on Escobar's hands. Still 2 balls and 2 strikes. Remember, we went into spring training with Dayton Moore and Ned Yost both saying that they felt like this was the best starting rotation that they've had since they've been together here in Kansas City.
And the positive sign is too, Duffy's coming back next week and he's going to toe the slab. Now I don't know how long he'll be able to pitch, you know how many pitches he'll throw and exactly, but they got their 2nd ace on the staff coming back. That's a good sign.
Escobar went down and he got it. That'll get Sano to third. The Royals throw to third. Well, I spoke too soon. I think everyone was prepared for Soler to throw to second base. and keep the double play in order, but Sano surprised everyone, including Miguel Sano. And for now, that's the first out of the inning. Minnesota's going to take another look at it.
Hey, that's a not very accurate throw. I don't know if he's able to sneak his hand in there or not. Sano thinks he got in there, but I liked how it's always fun to watch the umpires, how they shift. See Everett, home plate umpire, he's over there at third base making the call. Did he get the tag on him? Who? I don't know.
Well, it depends on where that right hand was.
But the umpire, the third base umpire, Bruce Dreckman, he went out, and Sano, you got to go. Like how Dreckman went out to make the call out there initially, and Mike Everett, the home plate umpire, covered for him at third. Umpires are always talking before the pitch. They know where they're going, and they're rotating, just like players. Soler, he'll take that. That was a nice play. That's a big pickup for Woody there. And for Sano, he saw the play in front of him. He wasn't looking at Gene Glenn, his third base coach. He was able to make that own decision himself. It just so happened he was out. It took a pretty good throw to get him, and he's done.
Breaking the cardinal rule of making the first or the third out at third base.
Sometimes it kills a rally. You're already in scoring position. Aggressive mistake. I don't know if Molitor will say anything to him even. Maybe after the game on the airplane or something. Tell him it's okay. It's an aggressive mistake. Woody coming back. Getting the punch out. 0-2.
2 down. Let's welcome in Joel.
All right, Ryan, thank you very much. We saw Matt Strahm leave the game yesterday with a knee injury, went on the disabled list afterwards, and our University of Kansas Health System update has him with a partial tear of the patella tendon. The Royals are going to wait for a second opinion on this. Ned Yost saying that he doesn't want to speculate any further than that. But guys, since none of us are doctors, I was kind of finding a little bit more about this type of injury and just tendons and ligaments in general. And you know, a ligament holds two bones together and provides stability. A tendon, which is the case here, a tendon holds muscle to the bone and provides function. So this is the general statement about a tendon. Guys, think about if your car is stuck and you have a truck that's going to pull it out with a rope. Doesn't matter how strong that truck is, if the rope is torn, you're not going to be able to pull out that car. That's what they need to determine right now, that rope being the tendon. If that tendon is indeed torn, then the knee and the leg won't have function. So hopefully that second opinion is better than what the first was, but if there's a tear there, not good news for Matt Strahm and the Royals.
Thank you, Dr. Goldberg. That was impressive.
Explained it just right.
I would say that Joel went to medical school at the University of Wisconsin, but I don't think they had a medical school at the University of Wisconsin.
All right, Joe, 1-0. Oh, you guys are beautiful.
The patella tendon, by the way, if you put your fingers on your kneecap and just go straight down toward your shin bone, it's that, I say soft tissue, but it's that area right below the kneecap before you get to the shin bone.
And if you're really interested, just Google patellar tendon.
One and two on Rosario. He had a 5-hit game last night into left center field, and Soler runs it down. So Soler makes a nice running play. He also gets an outfield assist, helping Travis Wood do a scoreless second inning.
And he just made a nice running catch and saved a run. And typically when that happens, you lead off the next inning. Now he not just did he save the run that way, but this one too. Outfield assist. Look at that, right on the money. Good tag right there by Torres. Very nice job getting the ball to him. But I like the last running catch in the alley. You know, we know Alex Gordon takes perfect routes in left field, but now Soler getting his second start out there in consecutive games, doing a nice job. And he gets to lead off. Maybe he can put one on the board here real quick. Been swinging a good bat. Strong.
Just missed it. As Buxton makes a play in front of the warning track, just got underneath it. It sounded good, solid contact. One down to begin the bottom of the second inning.
Really finding his groove. His swing is looking good. Staying down through the ball. Look at that balance. Very good balance there. Has a little low cane lean back. Not quite the back lean, but still good balance. That back foot has to collapse some so you can get leverage on your swing.
Here's Torres with one out. So we say that often, he just missed it. And a fan might say, well, he didn't even hit it to the warning track. How did he just miss it? You know, some might think you hit a ball high off the wall. That's how you just miss a home run. So how would you describe when we say he just missed it and it's not hit very close to the wall?
Well, you know, the round ball and the round bat, to hit it squarely, you got to, you know, it's got to be meet up just right when you're taking a full swing and at the velocity the ball is thrown. It's not easy to square up. So that one there, he didn't just miss that one. He had a good swing, but he wasn't able to put it down or didn't have enough to get over. Now Soler, a power hitter, when you take a good rip, a home run swing and the ball gets elevated really high, you just miss it off the square of the ball. It goes straight up, and had you been on top of the ball about a quarter of an inch more, it would have went out, and that's just missed it.
So the timing's right, the swing's right, the contact point is off just a little bit.
Quarter of an inch. Sometimes half inch, but not much more than that. It depends on what kind of hitter you are. Torres, he's not going to just miss that one because he's not a power hitter. That's used for power hitters. Typically.
What a day for Moss yesterday. And it was a day that began with a strikeout. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Struck out in his first at bat of the doubleheader, then single, home run, single into the next game, single, ground out, double. Slow breaking ball, 71 miles an hour. Santiago strikes out his first. No score at the end of 2. Stadium. We call it Kids Run the Show. So youngsters are doing all different kinds of jobs around Kauffman Stadium. We have Aiden from Merriam, who was the winner for the broadcast portion. How's your day going so far?
Good.
Now you sent an audition tape in for this, right?
Yeah.
And what did you do? Did you call a home run, or what did you do in the audition tape?
Called the last batter of the World Series.
Oh, you did? The Wade Davis strikeout?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember how you called it? You do?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Byron Buxton, that's a high throw from Escobar, so Buxton will be on to begin the top of the third inning. Did you practice that final out of the World Series, or did they just roll the tape and you just went and did it?
I did it a few times because I didn't like how it sounded.
You did? Okay, do we have the actual tape? All right, let's listen to Aiden calling the final out of the World Series.
Bottom 12, 1-2 pitch, 2 outs. Game 5 of the World Series. Here it comes. Strike at the knees. Strike 3 from Davis. And the Royals have won their first World Series since 1985.
Hey,
That was good.
well, I liked it. Aiden, are you going to be a broadcaster someday?
I want to play in the majors first.
Okay, well,
It's a good goal to have.
do you know how many years this guy played in the major leagues?
No.
10.
Not long enough.
10 years in the major leagues. Can you believe that?
It was a lot of fun, and I learned how to tell stories and have fun with baseball and the people that surround the game, and told stories. And then I got invited to be a color commentator. Now, Ryan is a professional play-by-play broadcaster. It's a little different. Now, he did play baseball in college, and he's well knowledgeable about the game, but that's what he wanted to do. And he's in the biggest league, highest league.
So what all have you gotten to do today? What are the things you've gotten to see?
The truck.
The production truck?
Yeah.
What'd you think about that?
It was like the cockpit of an airplane.
No, that's a good way to put it.
How many teammates were in there of ours? How many guys were in there?
About 10.
Yeah.
Wow. You got a full team in there.
You probably watch a lot of sports on television, right?
Yeah.
Did you have any idea that it took that many men and women to put the game on your screen?
No.
Did that surprise you?
Yeah.
All those television screens? Pretty amazing, isn't it? Yeah. So you got to hang out in the truck and sit with our producer today, Brian Shapiro. We call him Tito. And Steve Kurtenbach, our director. Were you able to keep track of all those television screens in the truck?
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a little mind-boggling.
So Aiden, how old are you?
11.
11. Okay, so are you going into 6th grade?
Yeah.
Okay. Where do you go to school? You got to give all your friends and your teachers a shout out. What school do you go to?
East Antioch Elementary.
All right, in Merriam, right?
The school's in Overland Park.
Oh, okay. Okay. Do you know who your teacher's going to be? Because if you know who your teacher's going to be, now would be a really good time to say your teacher's name on Royals television.
Either Mr. Wan or Miss Wright.
Okay. I won't ask you which one you prefer,
But you
if you don't know where you're going.
Miss Wright's always right, isn't she?
I don't know, because her last name was Miss Brogan.
Oh, okay.
So now she's right.
Okay.
Okay.
Are they both nice? Say yes.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good answer. Good. So what's your favorite subject in school?
Math.
Math. Okay.
Ooh, man, numbers
well,
guy.
Well, that'll come in handy when you're a broadcaster. Well, come on, we're going to slide you up to the front here, okay? And you can watch the game with us here at the counter. This is Brian Dozier. Have you heard of Brian Dozier before?
Yeah.
He's pretty good. Do you know how many home runs he hit against the Royals last year, Brian Dozier?
7.
It would have been nice if he hit 7 against the Royals last year. How old are you?
11.
That's how many home runs he hit against the Royals last year.
Well, what position do you play in baseball?
Pitcher and catcher.
Wow. That's the two most important pieces out there almost.
Who's your favorite Royal?
I don't have one. I like them all.
Great answer. Off of Salvi's glove, but Buxton will stay put at second base.
Have you gotten to attend any other major league games in any other stadiums?
Not major league, but we've gone to one AA game in Arkansas.
Northwest Arkansas. Okay. Did the Royals AA team in Northwest Arkansas? Is that where you went?
Yeah.
Okay. Torres fields, and that throw is offline. It's been a tough inning for the left side of the infield. Moss applies the tag.
He was a little nimble-footed, and he has to be right here. Good job. Okay. Buxton took a big jump off of second base. Torres pulled him off. A good job by Moss. Is able to show some agility there. Buxton wanted to come over to third base. When your arm falls down to the side when you're throwing, sometimes the ball will sail up the line a little bit, just like that. You want to try to keep that. Oh, man.
Soler back, and he runs that one down. Thanks for joining us, Aiden. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Managed more than 30 blood drives with the Community Blood Center, collecting 2,406 units of blood over the past 3 years. She has enticed participation by giving away prizes and has even arranged for superheroes to stop by to visit kids while also donating their own super blood. Currently in an emergency blood shortage, all are encouraged to donate next week during the annual Royals blood drive. And Mary is sitting in the Buck O'Neil legacy seat at today's game. Oh, and 1 on Alcides Escobar. Royals have 1 hit in the first 2 innings against Hector Santiago. Now 1-1 on Esky, who has 5 hits and 5 runs driven in this series. Grossman coming up in right field takes care of Escobar. There's 1 down in the bottom of the 3rd. And now number 9 hitter Alex Gordon, who's playing in center field today. One home run, 5 driven in for Alex this season against Minnesota, and all of that has been in this series. Kia puts us in the driver's seat. And Alex, over his last 4 games, has driven in 8. That got him on the hand.
Ooh, man. Dangerous place to get hit. Any hitter would tell you he'd much rather get it in the back or the hip or the leg, anywhere else besides the hand. But Alex looks like he's going to make it okay. Yeah. A lot of small bones in them hands. It's tough. And sometimes, you know, the pitcher likes to throw in there at the hitter's hands. Not intentionally to try to hurt him, but that's part of him opening up the outside part of the plate. Alex tough as nails.
This is somewhat old school, but it still applies today. That, you know, most pitchers, if they miss in or they miss up and in, knock a guy down or hit him, you don't want the hitter to know that that was an accident. You want that to be in the back of your mind, back in the hitter's mind. You know, hey, what's this guy doing? Is he throwing at me?
Right.
But here's Merrifield to the gap and to the wall. And the hit batter is going to turn into a run. And Witt just keeps on hitting against the Minnesota Twins. 1-0 Royals in the 3rd.
So great to see him pull his hands in. 31st RBI on the season, along with his 13th double. Pulls his hands inside on a fastball that should have been hit. That's a 88-mile-an-hour fastball that just didn't hit his spot. Witt, perfect balance, was able to lift and separate and gap it. Alex, look at him on his horse, inside part of the base. That's the fun part of baseball. A lot of players will tell you, running the bases. How sharp can you make that left turn and cut the corner?
And now he's at second with 1 out for Bonifacio. And now Witt to third, and he's there without a throw.
Excellent jump and read, and left-handers, you can get a little bit of league at second base, and third is an easier steal than second is. You get that extra step or two. The left-hander's looking the other way. Excellent read for Merrifield. Pedal to the metal, pressuring the defense. Now giving Bonifacio a better opportunity to score the run with a swing. The infield's pulled in, opens up the field, helps the hitter. Smart play by Whitley Merrifield. Want to think middle of the field here. And elevate if you can. Sac flies work. Buxton in center field is showing no respect to Bonifacio's power. Very shallow. He's probably playing shallow out there for a reason. Anything that's kind of light, easy fly ball that he can come in on, he's got a good throwing arm. Going to try to get Merrifield at home.
Taking a shot at right field. That pitch may not have been a strike. This is when Santiago is most hittable this year. Second time through. And that second time through begins with a Merrifield RBI double. Bonifacio flied out to left field in his first at bat.
With 2 strikes, outfielders move. And they're moving to the opposite field. Buxton did. Left a big gap out here in left center field. Nice big area out there. And then it's all about chance. It's all about taking the chance. With 2 strikes, a lot of hitters try to shorten up and just place the ball out there. But generally, the middle of the field is the best place to aim, right back by the pitcher in a situation like this.
Two and two.
So he's been able to get Bonifacio in swing mode. He tried to get him to go a little bit further out. Wasn't biting on that. It's a good opportunity for him to get this run home.
Fair ball and almost hit Merrifield, and he would have been out, but he got back to the bag in time. And Escobar, that must have been a challenging play for him to keep track of the ball and not collide with Witt.
It was very tricky play. You don't see this that often down there with a runner there. And you know, Merrifield can't go anywhere. Escobar kept the ball low, threw a low one hopper to Mauer. Mauer was able to scoop it with no problem. Nice play. Skipped on the grass well ahead of the dirt, which didn't cause him any trouble on the hop.
Witt took one step into fair territory. Runners at third base typically are always leading in foul territory, so that if they are hit, they are not out. But he took, on his return to third, he swerved back into fair territory. He's trying to distract Santiago, divide his attention while pitching to Hosmer. And Hosmer hits it to right field, which is wide open. An overshift in the outfield burns the Twins, and the Royals lead 2-0. That looked like a routine fly ball to right.
Like I said, the defensive shifts, those are a calculated risk. They're a gamble. Hosmer likes to go to the opposite field. You can see where the fielder is right here. They are playing him to the off field, not taking into account for the pitcher, Santiago, who's a soft tosser. He doesn't throw hard. So the left-handed hitters are going to be apt to pull him more than go the other way. Hard throwers, you might want to play the defense that way on Haas. That defensive alignment there backfired on the Twins. Santiago, not an overpowering. He's considered a soft tossing lefty.
And that'll drop into left center field. 3 runs for the Royals in the bottom of the third.
I'm going to tell you, it's really nice to see these guys. They're heating up. It's contagious. We know it. We've seen it before. Santiago running into some trouble, especially here with 2 outs. Look at Salvi, nice and easy, under control. Good little leg load there. He's going to be able to step quietly and just go ahead and guide it out there. I like it. Good, full, extended follow through. Yeah, like it. Both hands on the bat. Good control. That controls the body. Haas, one of the fastest first basemen in baseball. Had no trouble scoring there. They say only Will Myers, the first baseman for the San Diego Padres, might have a half a step on Haas, but that's it.
Way inside on Soler, who hit one a mile high to center field, driving Buxton to the edge of the warning track. We felt like he just missed it. And his swing has looked really good the past few days.
Oh, really good. His thinking now is middle of the field, and he's reacting to anything soften up. But that's what that's the right approach. He's got plenty of power. We haven't seen it yet to the opposite field, but once he starts thinking that way and gets the pitch middle away, we're going to see some outstanding offensive pop from the opposite field from a righty.
Two and two. Phil Hughes is pitching out of the Minnesota bullpen. Just came off the disabled list, and he's warming up in the bottom of the third inning. Played off the breaking ball. From 1-2 to 3-2. That's also a good sign that not only is the hitter seeing the ball well, but he's not afraid to hit with 2 strikes and still look for his pitch. Hit on his terms, not the pitcher's terms.
Better believe it.
Changeup or a screwball. Soler strikes out. The Royals get 3. RBI double Whit Merrifield. 2 batters later, RBI double Eric Hosmer, followed by an RBI single from Salvador Perez. The can't miss event of the summer hits South Beach when baseball's biggest stars will take the field for the MLB All-Star Game July 11th on Fox. And coming up in about 4 hours, we will find out if Jason Vargas will be the starter for the American League. It would be shocking, stunning if he didn't make the team. I think the question is whether he would start or not. One ball and no strikes. May not be the time to name a starting pitcher this early, but we fully expect Vargas to be in consideration for that. Certainly make the team. And Salvador Perez had a nice big lead behind the plate to start at catcher. Eric Hosmer was hanging on to his lead last time we saw the votes at first base.
And usually they don't make that a starting pitching announcement until a few days before that, because you never know who's lined up where to pitch. If anybody's going to be eligible, you know, you got to have your rest.
Well, we know that Jason Vargas is lined up perfectly to be the starter in the All-Star game. So that won't be an issue for him. Travis Wood, 3 scoreless innings, and now pitching with a 3-0 lead. Gave up a couple of singles in the second inning. Jorge Soler threw out a runner at third to help him get through the second, and worked around an error in the third. Merrifield charges and gets Mauer. Second time that Mauer has grounded out to Merrifield. And it's time for our sprint trivia question. Salvador Perez, who are the last set of teammates to be named All-Star Game MVP in back-to-back years? The last set of teammates to be named All-Star Game MVP in back-to-back years. Could happen this year. Here's Sano, who had a broken bat single to right in the second inning.
I'll say Mike Trout, but yeah, I can't think of who else would be.
Well, he won it in back-to-back years, didn't he?
14 and 15.
Yeah. But I don't think Mike Trout and Mike Trout are teammates.
I think Albert Pujols didn't make it either. Just thought.
Two and one. How about an era? I mean, are we talking about like the 1955 All-Star game? The 1970s, Hud.
Oakland A's, maybe. Big red machine. Cincinnati.
One was a pitcher.
Thank you.
Line to left, and Soler will play this one on a bounce. So Sano is 2 for 2. He's on with 1 out. It was more common in the 70s and before for a pitcher to be MVP because they wouldn't just throw 1 inning. Pitchers back then would pitch long enough to qualify for a win. Back when one league really wanted to beat the other league, which is why Pete Rose ran into Ray Fosse.
That's right.
Do you think we're either talking the Oakland A's or the Cincinnati Reds?
Just thinking, yeah, they
or
were
the
they
Dodgers
were
and the Yankees.
They were good back then.
Phillies, Royals. Escobar off his glove. He may have had a play at second base, but it would have been close. So Sano and Escobar, like they did in the second inning, both have base hits here in the fourth.
Yep, perfect spot. Ball had eyes on it. Hit up in the heel of the glove. There's no chance when it hit in the heel. It just, there's a dead spot. I'm not so sure he would have got it. Good placement. Little meeting here talking about what they're going to do here. No, there's 1 out. It's not a bunting situation. Want to roll a pair.
Polanco took a called third strike on a fastball in the second inning. 56 pitches for Travis Wood, so that's already a season high for him. Down and in, ball 1. Little bit of movement out in the Royals bullpen, but the tarp is still on the mound.
Okay, we got a hint. It was a pitcher. So in the 70s.
How about a team? It's the Dodgers.
How about Don Sutton?
I think that's right. Don Sutton in 77.
Okay, now,
and then
so had to have been a teammate. What was he?
In 1978.
Was it a big name guy?
Dusty Baker. That's my childhood team, so I'm going to let you go. I could name that whole roster.
Steve Garvey.
Bill Russell, Ron Say, Davey Loeb, Steve Yeager, Rick Monday, Reggie Smith, Bill North, Lee Lacy, Steve Garvey. Hud, nice work.
Ding, ding, ding. 1978. I was a senior in high school. I knew about the Dodgers a little bit, not like you. 4 hours north in Fresno, California. They were Dodger fans there. A lot of Giant fans there, too. Roll it up. That'll work.
Bonifacio comes up in right and makes a play. The only other time teammates have won All-Star game MVPs in back-to-back years, 68 and 69. Willie McCovey and Willie Mays.
Wow.
Travis Wood 1 out away from giving the Royals 4 scoreless innings in a spot start. All he has to do is get Eddie Rosario, who lined out to left in his first at bat and had 5 hits last night for the first time in his career. And he scored 3 runs. And it wasn't just last night for Rosario. It's been over his last 17 games, hitting well over 400. And he's driven in 10 with 5 home runs. Down to second base, right on the bag. Escobar did not react as if
perfect.
He felt like the umpires missed a call, but man, you talk about right where you want to put it.
Yeah. And you know, Mike Everett, the home plate umpire, had his left hand on Salvi's shoulder for the pitch. Look at that. That's right where you want it. There's an infielder. His hand was there. So Salvi turned around and Everett apologized if he was obstructing him in any way.
2-1.
Now the umpire is not privy to Salvi's pickoffs to the second base, so he didn't know, Mike Everett. And lots of times they'll put their hand on the catcher's shoulder to just let him know where he's setting up. Catcher can't see it. See it? There's his left hand on Salvi's back. So when Salvi came up to throw, you see that hand on his back? Yeah, that's his throwing arm too. He thought that he obstructed Salvi, but Salvi said, "No, you actually helped me. It's okay, Pana. You're my buddy."
Just call strikes when my guy's on the mound.
That's right.
Got Rosario to chase a 3-1 off speed pitch. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Travis Wood, how about him? He's showing his veteran savvy out there on the mound. He's a crafty lefty. I think he'd be okay with that title. Mixing and matching, mixing up his pitches, staying on the corners, just like his scouting report said when he joined the team.
Oh, struck him out.
Beauty. Go ahead, Woody. Take that opportunity and run with it. 3-run lead. Oh, that's a Barkey scalpel job right there.
By Jack in the Box. Come try the new sweet or spicy barbecue bacon cheeseburger and chicken sandwich. Limited time only. 3-0 Royals. And Travis Wood in his first start for the Royals has gone 4 scoreless innings. And there is still nobody warming up in the Royals bullpen. So even though he has all that experience as a starter, he hasn't started a big league game. since September of 2015. He has not thrown more than 3 innings prior to today. He has not had more than 49 pitches prior to today.
I'm sure they'll keep an eye on him, but he's in good shape. Takes care of himself. But that last pitch he threw, hey, we'll take the walk. The last pitch that he threw there to strike that guy out was his best pitch. That breaking ball started in on the inner half of the plate and finished away, and that was perfectly executed in the right time to get Eddie Rosario.
Here's Neil Allen, a graduate of Bishop Ward High School. Grew up in KCA. Out to have a chat with Santiago, and while they chat, we will chat with Joel.
Well, today, guys, is International Signing Day. We talk so often about the draft, but for young kids in Venezuela, the Dominican Republic, at 16 years old, they're eligible to be signed. Back on September 27th of 2006, a guy that probably didn't have blonde hair back then, named Salvador Perez, was signed by the Royals. Talking to him about that, he said the Royals had been scouting him. He was sleeping that morning, and his mom woke him up, said that Orlando Estevez, who's still with the Royals, was there. And he, his mom, his grandmother, and Orlando sat there in the living room, and he signed his contract that day. Said it took about a month to get the visa and the papers, passport, all in order, and then he headed over to the Dominican Academy. Jorge Bonifacio wasn't signed until about December after the July signing date. He said that he was sort of involved with a few other players and an agent, and they were kind of a package deal, and it didn't really all work out. He had also converted from third base to outfield, and a lot of the scouts had seen him hitting but hadn't seen him throw a lot. He'd had some arm problems, and so he wasn't throwing a lot for them. He said that the Rangers and the Royals were on him. He ended up signing with the Royals. Ramon Torres back in 2009 signed with the Royals and shortly went over to the academy, became friends with Cheslor Cuthbert. So this is the kind of day that can change lives for a lot of kids who have had that same dream as young boys in the United States. For Cheslor, July 2nd, 2009.
8 years ago today.
It's a life-changing moment for them. And you know, the Latin players, they're a little bit easier to sign because they want to play. They want to play baseball. They want to go. So you can float them a decent, a nice signing bonus offer, and if they take it, they say yes, okay, we want to play, we go. Sometimes, you know, it gets a little bit more political, a little more complicated here in the States with agents and saying, no, my guy, he wants to be a higher pick, he wants $1 million too, or whatever. It's a little bit different over there. They're hungry to play.
1-2 from Santiago to Moss. Santiago struck Moss out with a slow curveball to end the second inning.
Torres has 1 steal in his major league career.
Torres takes off, and Moss hits it into left center field. It carries, but Buxton will run it down on the warning track. Torres had rounded second base, so he has to retouch, and he's back to first with 1 out. Come on, parents, sign the kids up for Sluggers Blue Crew to get the little ones ready for the rest of the baseball season. This year's membership includes a Blue Crew jersey, a flat bill cap, special edition earbuds, Royals eye black, 2 home game ticket vouchers, and more for just $30. You can sign up right now at Royals.com/Blue Crew. 1 on, 1 out. Alcides Escobar coming to the plate, and Phil Hughes is coming out of the Minnesota bullpen. Stopper. Jose Ramirez takes lefty Chad Bell deep at Comerica Park. 2 home runs, 4 driven in for Jose Ramirez. That's his 15th home run of the year. And Cleveland is up big at Detroit. Here's Phil Hughes, just off the disabled list and making just his 2nd relief appearance of the year.
Not a bad idea to move Hughes from the starting rotation to put him back in the bullpen. That means that he'll be able to give a little bit more. Neil Allen told me his velocity's up a little bit, 92, maybe 93 at times. Good trying to hit and run. I was just going to say this is a great time with 1 out to hit and run. You got the right pieces out there. Torres can run. Escobar can hit behind the runner. He just was a little bit more tardy than he would have wanted to be. The idea of a hit and run is to get the runner takes off. He peeks back halfway to second. He sees if the hitter's going to hit the ball behind him in right field. The idea, get the runner to third base with less than 2 outs. Outs are important. If there's nobody out and it doesn't work, you throw the runner out at second base. It takes you out of a potential big inning. It's been done with no outs, but it's done mainly with 1 out. Put it on the first pitch is usually the best time, because you know that majority of the time you're going to get a fastball to hit for the hitter.
Right center field and down. Buxton cuts it off deep. Torres is around third. He will score, and the Royals lead 4-0. Alcides Escobar has driven in 6 in this series.
Beautiful. Even better than the hit and run is the gapper. Our Missouri Lottery Fox track shows you. Oh, baby. Fastball at 90 right down the middle. Previous pitch was similar. Eske, he got it. And the way Eske's going right now, you can't sneak a piece of cheese by a hungry rat. Eske is hungry, and he continues to hit that ball. He's looking out over, and when you're hot, you're hot. Go ahead and drive the bus, Eske. Been a long time coming. Nice to see you hot again.
Breaking ball for a strike to Alex. He was hit by a pitch with 1 out in the 3rd inning and then scored on Merrifield's double.
Nice numbers against Hughes in his career. Keep the line moving. Get as many as you can. Don't let him back in it. Oh, yeah.
Base hit right field for Alex. Kepler, or Grossman rather, didn't charge that ball. He played it conservatively, so Escobar scores easily, and the Royals lead 5-0 in the 4th inning.
Paul Molitor, he felt like he had to come hook Hector Santiago. He did, and hadn't gotten any better. That fastball looked straight as a string. Hughes is offering up some center cut fastballs right down the middle. Alex didn't miss it. Good top spin on there, sunk just in time. Grossman, I think he went ahead and conceded the run. It's not your greatest defender, but he obviously, like you said, had no interest in throwing out Escobar.
Down and away to Merrifield. Witt drove in the Royals' first run today with a double. That was to left center field. And then on the next pitch, he stole third. And then Hosmer doubled him home. That's hit well toward the right field corner. Grossman in pursuit, and it's off of his glove. Alex had to make sure that Grossman wasn't going to catch it. And then I think when it hit his glove, Alex thought that was a catch. He took a step back toward first. So that slowed him down just enough. And now 2nd and 3rd, 1 out.
Ball was slicing. It had some slicing action. Whitley using his bottom hand. Look at that. He just a slight step up. He just lifts it up, puts it down. Head position was nice. We've seen this many times. Grossman fully extended, didn't quite dive for it. I'm sure Hughes would have loved to seen him. Whitley says, hey, look, what about me? Stay hot. Wood saying, hey, fellas, keep it up. Like the line moving like this. Less than 2, 1 out. Chance to score again. Hughes not throwing any secondary pitches to start. Royals are swinging on him, and that fastball is not overpowering, but it has not been located properly by Hughes. They're taking advantage of it.
Oh, 0-2 on Bonifacio. He is flied to left and grounded out to third. Second time he has come up in the last 2 innings with a runner at third base in less than 2 outs. Santiago got him to ground out to third with no advance from the runner at third last inning, but then Hosmer picked him up with a double. So he gets another shot here in the fourth. And he's down on strikes. And now Hosmer will try and pick him up again. Hosmer single to left in the first inning, double to right, taking advantage of a shift I have not seen against Hosmer before today.
Well, you know, they're swinging over again. Center fielder, Buxton all the way over in left center. You see him way over here. So it leaves spaces here and here. And I thought with first base open, they were going to put him on. There's no need to. With 2 outs here, base open, might as well face the righty. I was looking in there for Molitor, and he waited for the longest time to put 4 fingers up. To me, that was a no-brainer. See the stars on the bases down here. I'd like to see that. Salvi was wanting to go ahead and see if he can add up on it.
Maybe this is why it took Paul Molitor a little while to intentionally walk Eric Hosmer. The numbers are not good for his pitcher against Salvador Perez. Salvi grounds it left side. Escobar will go to second. That ends the inning. Royals get 2 in the bottom of the fourth, and they lead 5-0. Trying to take 3 out of 4 from the Minnesota Twins. Oklahoma City Thunder fans, make sure to purchase your Oklahoma City Thunder Day theme ticket for the July 16th game against the Rangers. Each theme ticket comes with a Thunder branded Royals hat and your seat for the game. Go to Royals.com/theme tickets for more information and to purchase those tickets.
Hey, you think Westbrook will throw out the first pitch? MVP? Come on, let's get him here. Get him to the K. Like to see him.
Travis Wood in his first start for the Royals this year has pitched 4 scoreless innings. 2-0 on Byron Buxton, who, whether he's batting 8th like he is today or 9th, always seems to be leading off an inning. And always seems to be getting on base leading off an inning. He reached on an error by Escobar in the 3rd inning, and now Wood falls behind 3 balls and no strikes. Buxton, Castro, Dozier coming up.
What he knows, his offense in the 3rd got him 3. 4th, they got him 2. Now no free passes. Get right in there. Up.
And that is Travis Wood's first walk today.
24th walk for Buxton. 5 runs down. I don't know if Molly's going to let him go or not, and if he does, his chances of stealing are pretty good. He's only been thrown out once in 15 times. So if he wants to get him in scoring position, he's down by 5. But if he does get thrown out, you see Rusty's, he's directed traffic. That's right. Watch me. I'll let you know. Play in. I want you coming in. He's talking to Soler and left. See how he does it? He does it with a smile. Come in, and I want you to go a little bit towards the left field line. That's right. Thank you. Yes. Okay. Thank you. Does it with a smile. Didn't have a scowl on his face.
The phone rings now in the Royals bullpen. 74 pitches, and 6 of 7 pitches in this inning have been out of the strike zone. So that's quite a spike for Travis Wood, who had not thrown more than 49 pitches before today, and he's done a lot of sitting around the last 2 times the Royals have been at the plate. Scott Alexander will throw first in the Royals bullpen. Two and one on Castro. He grounded back to Travis Wood in the 3rd inning. Remember, Travis Wood and Nate Carnes were competing for the 5th spot in the rotation in spring training. That was part of the attraction for the Royals, that Travis Wood could be a starter or many different roles out of the bullpen, and that was the attraction for Travis Wood, is that he had the opportunity to be a starter again, and had he pitched better earlier this season, he may have gotten one of those first opportunities. That's up the middle and into center field. Buxton will advance to 3rd, and Minnesota has runners at the corners with nobody out.
Dave going to come out, give Alexander a few more warm-up tosses, talk to Woody. Ball was cleanly struck, and part of the allure for Travis was going from one World Series champion team to another. He liked that. It's a good opportunity for him.
Remember, every time the Royals turn a double play, the next day McDouble sandwiches are only $1 at McDonald's in the greater KC, St. Joe, and Lawrence locations.
Gladly roll one of those McDonald's up for a double play and give the run if they want it. Dozier. He's grounded into 6 this year.
High changeup for a strike. It's the most pitches he has thrown in over 2 years. One ball, one strike. Good spot, 1-2. Dozier thought that was outside. Great spot.
Exactly where you want it. That maybe a change up on the outside part of the plate here. Get him to pull. Oh, he went with it. It's okay.
Very defensive swing.
Anything close, he's fighting off a little two-strike approach.
Dozier hit 42 home runs last year. 40 in the lineup as a second baseman, breaking the league record in that category. And I was just going to say, teams have been pitching him away, and he's had to figure out how to go the other way. And in doing so here, he drives in Buxton to make it 5-1. And here comes Ned Yost.
It's okay. Woody did exactly what Ned wanted him to do.
First and second, nobody out. Travis Wood got the game into the 5th inning. The crowd appreciates that. Scott Alexander will take over. Wood is not very happy with himself as he's given up a leadoff walk and then 2 singles as Minnesota scores its first run. But from the Royals' point of view, he got the game into the 5th inning, making his first start in 2 seasons.
Yeah, and you know, there might be some out there thinking, wow, Ned's 1 hitter too late. Well, we're fans of the game. We're not attached like a manager is to his teammates. I mean to his players. His players, he's going to ask a lot more from Wood this season as the season goes along. And so he wanted to let Travis know that he had confidence in him to get the double play and possibly get through the 5th and qualify for a win. That's what confidence does from a manager to his employee. His employee says, man, thanks for giving me the extra rope there. And that's what that is. It's loyalty. I've seen a lot of pitchers come out of games that weren't ready to come out, and their manager didn't have any confidence in them, and it caused problems between the two.
Ooh, man. Base hit center field. Castro to the plate. Alex heaves it all the way to the plate. Salvi wants the Royals to challenge here. He thinks that Castro missed home plate.
Everett saying no way. Let's see the slide. Oh,
I think the back leg went across the plate.
might have.
Might have been right. That the front leg bounced over the plate, but the back foot scraped across, and now the tying run is at the plate with nobody out.
Sinker, 95% sinkers. Keep the sinker down. If it gets up, it can get hit, and that pitch is designed to get hit, but it has such downward depth to it that when it does get hit, it's on the ground, usually at a defender. He hopes.
This could have also played into Ned Yost going an extra inning with Travis Wood. All the pitches that Scott Alexander has thrown in the last 7 days. He pitched in game 1 of the doubleheader yesterday. 0-2 on Mauer.
Occasional sliders like that one.
Mauer has grounded out to Merrifield twice today. And there's always Miguel Sano looming when Mauer comes to the plate. Figure he's got a lot more pitches to hit this year. Mauer has with the season Sano has had. 2-2.
Yeah, if you hit in front of a guy like that, you're going to get pitches most of the time. Alexander trying to get him off the outside edge. Mauer rarely tries to pull the ball, so he's not going to roll over his hands, and that's what usually rolls over to a little 4-6-3. But he has grounded into 7 double plays. Going to the opposite field keeps you from doing that. For the most part, he could still hit one to one of the 2 defenders over there on the left side.
That'll be out of play. Another foul ball. Fouled off 4 straight, and it's a 7-pitch at bat. Gonna have to hurry. Out at second, and Moss. That's a big pick. Even though the Royals didn't get the out, if that skips by Moss, Dozier scores from third.
Okay, now this is one for sure. Okay, there was a little card flip backhand there, and that was not an easy pick. It wasn't a short hop pick. That was a long hop pick. Starting low, finishing high. Very nice. And the infielders, especially on the left side today, Torres hadn't had any starts at third base in his big league career, so this is first for him. Escobar, they know Hosmer's not there. Okay, they know Hosmer's just missed 2 games at first base this year, and Hos, he wears the gold. Ned likes to keep him in there just for defensive purposes, lots of time only. Forget about his bat. Moss doing a nice job. Made 2 good plays over there. That dig one, and then another one earlier in the game when he had to come off the bag and apply the tag. Takes ground balls there every day during batting practice.
2 balls, 1 strike. Yesterday was the first time that Sano made an out with a ball in play against Alexander. He grounded back to Alexander, who made a good play going down the back slope of the mound. Alexander had struck out Sano in their first 2 matchups. Sano has singled twice today. 2-2.
See how he hits the ball on the ground. That's what Alexander's intention is.
Aaron Judge is the league leader and only has 4 more driven in than Sano for the American League lead. Three and 2. Eduardo Escobar is on deck.
See if Molitor sends Mauer. Alexander throwing 95% sinkers. Why would you throw anything else? Keep it down. I bet he moves Mauer. Let's see.
Not going.
Okay. Double play would be key. Sano continuing to pull.
Dozier's at third. He's driven in a run. Mauer's at first. Bases loaded, 1 out. Travis Wood is still responsible for Dozier at third. Mauer at second, Sano at first are the responsibility of Scott Alexander. 2 singles for Escobar. 1 to left field, and then an infield single to Escobar in the 4th. So he's pulled the ball both times, and Alexander hits the inside corner, strike 1.
Escobar 1 for 3 with him loaded this year.
Right to Merrifield. Escobar in time. Huge double play.
Oh, that's why Alexander's in there. Beautiful job. Roll them up, ham and eggs on a Sunday.
And the Royals have the lead 5-2 as they come up in the bottom of the 5th. Phil Hughes throws a slider strike to Jorge Soler. He is 0 for 2. Hughes got the last 2 outs of the Royals' 2-run 4th inning in relief of Hector Santiago. 1-1 on Soler.
Travis Wood did exactly what Ned Yost was hoping he would do. I think he went even longer and further than Ned expected. So that's what you like. Got him some support. He needs some more. Cleveland, or excuse me, Minnesota, they're not going easy. They've had a long, grueling road trip. Last day of it. 5-5.
Two and 2 on Soler. His impact today has been in the field. He made 2 nice running plays in left today with Alex Gordon center, and he also threw out Miguel Sano at third base.
Yeah, and those running plays, they weren't routine. One of them saved a run for sure. Good jumps. Can't make the play if you don't get good quick first step. So he's looked excellent in left. Rusty's helped him positioning wise. Rusty Kuntz, he's their outfield instructor.
Right center field. It's going to roll deep. And Soler's into second base with a leadoff double. He's having good at-bats, Hud, and now he's starting to use the whole field.
Excellent job, and you know, you just got to credit them for sending him down to Omaha, where he hit .333. You see him going with the pitch here. 5 doubles, 8 home runs, 24 ribbies in 20 games. In 20 games, he woke up and he got a little angry. He got a little bit of saying, hey, look, I'm a big leaguer and I'm going to go back there, but the only way I can is I got a hack to get back. And he did. He made some good adjustments, and now look at him. He's being a big part, and he's going to find more at-bats. He keeps having these good, successful hits. Going to get more playing time.
Torres walked leading off the 4th inning and scored a run.
Excuse me, you get Moss going, you get him going. Now you're getting some good, nice designated hitter competition.
Base hit center field. Buxton, who's been playing a shallow center all series, that pays off right there. Soler has to hold to third, and Ramon Torres just keeps hitting. He's hitting .387.
Everything going good with him, but watch this instinctive base running here. With a line drive, nobody out. Line drive, you freeze. Look at the hands he hit. Beautiful. Watch Soler. Freeze on a liner. Did exactly that. Make sure you don't get caught and doubled up, take you out of a big inning. Very nice instinctive base running there. But handsy hitting, oh man, Torres is special. The more I see him play out there, the better I like him. And I'm not the only one. It's not about me. It's just as the broadcaster, but it's about the performance and what he could do for Ned, the manager.
First and third for Moss. Curveball's in for a strike. Moss is 0 for 2. Phil Hughes is facing his 9th batter. He's had trouble with Moss in the past.
Get them runs back that they left out there last inning.
0-2 on Moss.
Hughes having a hard time with these Royals batters. 8 batters, 5 hits, 1 walk.
That category continues to improve for the Royals. Phil Hughes, against his first 8 hitters, has given up 5 hits and 1 walk. Slider struck him out. Second strikeout for Hughes. 1 down in the 5th inning. It was about 10 years ago when the New York Yankees figured they'd be building a starting rotation around Phil Hughes and Ian Kennedy. when those two phenoms got to the big leagues in 2007. First round pick in 04 out of high school. 2 years later, Ian Kennedy was taken in the first round by the Yankees out of college. Both got to the big leagues in 2007. Both out of Southern California.
Yep, Tustin High School is where Hughes came out of. You know, you could see why he'd be a #1 pick. Big, strong guy. They like starters that are strong, durable, so they can eat up some innings. Hughes is 6'5", 240. Just got the corner there.
Royals scored 2 in the 4th inning. 1 charge to Santiago, 1 to Hughes. They were poised to do more, but Hughes pitched out of it. And he's trying to do the same thing here in the 5th. 1st and 3rd, 1 out. And it's 0-2 on Escobar.
Cutter. It's one of his pitches. He's going to rely on that, and he's getting a little bit more action now off his fastball. First inning, he was throwing fastballs that didn't have much movement on it. They were pretty straight.
Alex Gordon's been hit by a pitch. He has also singled in a run. He's waiting on deck. Escobar fouls it away, still 0-2.
Do what you do with 2 strikes. You shorten up and find a hole. That was a good swing, just a little behind it. Hughes, everything's pretty much the same speed. Off speed. There it was there.
Base hit right field. Man, Escobar's been an RBI machine in this series. Soler comes to the plate. Royals lead is 6-2. Escobar has driven in 2 more today and 7 in this series with the Twins.
Fantastic. It's about the head position and the control of the bottom foot. Look at the head position here when you go to the opposite field. It's got to be looking straight down for contact. That's where he's going to hit it. He's going to make some contact back here to go to right field. But look at the back leg. That's important too. He's got to get down there to leverage his swing and go with the pitch. It's what you do with 2 strikes. That's perfect. Wow. How about some production in the series from the bottom of the order?
Alex way out in front. Really good numbers against Phil Hughes. Not a lot of extra base hits, but a high average. He's driven in 9 in his last 5 games. Drove in a run last inning. He was hit by a pitch and scored a run in the 3rd. I was going to bring it up, Hood. When Santiago hit Alex with 1 out in the 3rd, Santiago was pitching well, and he felt bad. You could tell, and he was trying. He was kind of walking toward the first base line. You could tell he's trying to get Alex's attention to say, "My bad, I'm sorry." And respect that he has and the league has for Alex, but it's almost like Santiago lost his edge. That's when the Royals really started to get to him after he hit Alex with the pitch. Escobar looking up into the sun, and he'll bring it down.
Yeah.
And I was saying right before Witt doubled in Alex that it's kind of an old school thing, but some pitchers do it today. You know, when you miss your location and you come up and in, or you knock a hitter down and that was not your intent, or you hit a batter and it's not your intent, you know, pitchers will say, don't let the hitter know that that was a mistake. You know, you want that seed planted in the back of his mind, like, "Yeah, this guy trying to drill me," but Santiago for better or for worse. You could see it written all over his body language. He felt awful.
Alex is probably a hero of his.
Whit Merrifield has 2 doubles today. 2 for 3. A stolen base, a run scored, and an RBI.
Hughes going more with his curveball. Curveball cutters now, trying to get him off the fastball. Whitley, great bottom hand. Playing him straight up and shallow. Look at the Minnesota Twins defense. They are shallow. They're in 10 feet what they normally would be. And they're shorting up because on a base hit, they're taking a chance that they could throw somebody out at the plate. Rosario in left field has 2 outfield assists. Buxton in center has 4.
One and 2 on Whit. You don't normally see big leaguers line up like this unless there's a pitcher at the plate.
You're right.
Or maybe the father-son game.
Yeah, they're shallow. He'll clean the sacks. Whitley will easy on a ball to the gap here. Now it's calculated risk they're taking again. They were beaten by the shift earlier in the game when Hosmer doubled down the right field line, playing him all the way over against a soft tossing lefty. It didn't work out. Whitley, they're playing him in the infield straight up now with 2 strikes. Buxton's favor in right center field, thinking he'll go that way.
Upstairs, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
2 outs. Whitley don't want that one up there. It's either pop up or fly ball territory. He wants something down. He can find a hole. Torres good speed.
Buxton is there. And that'll do it. The Royals get a run. Escobar drives in another run. He gets Soler to the plate. Royals lead 6-2. Watch the game on TV. You can stream it live on your mobile device. Download the Fox Sports Go app, log in, and stream the Royals. Been a mixture of sunshine and filtered sunshine with hazy clouds up above Kauffman Stadium. It's going to be just under 90 degrees today. Second inning for Scott Alexander. A bunt, and it's foul. We would like to send along our best wishes to our good friend Dick Cagle, longtime Royals beat writer at the Kansas City Star and also at MLB.com. Dick had open heart surgery on Friday.
Wow.
We understand he's doing well.
Good.
And we know he's hanging on every word of our broadcast.
All right, Dick.
So, Dick, we're thinking about you.
See you back here at the K.
Dick's wife, Betty, works for the Royals, does a great job as the director of community outreach. And right now she is the director of taking care of Dick at home.
Way to go, Betty.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Escobar charges and throws out Polanco.
Polanco like a swinging bunt right there. Coming out of that box, he's already running. Escobar knew he had to get it over there quickly. Watch this. Got off balance. But sometimes that's how you get infield hits. Not this time.
Eddie Rosario thinking about a bunt. 0 for 2 today after getting 5 hits last night. Second game of the doubleheader. Two and 0. Two and 1 on Eddie Rosario. Two and 2, and I think that foul ball stung Salvi. Peter Moylan's getting ready in the Royals bullpen. 4+ innings from Travis Wood. Scott Alexander has gone an inning and a third. The Twins are having tough at bats. They have scored just 2 runs in 5 1/3 innings on 7 hits. But it seems like almost every at bat is like this one. One foul ball after another. Grinding at bats. And there's another foul ball.
Yep, and that's what a hitting coach loves his hitters to do. Compete in the at bat until you win it. And if you don't, hey, you gave it your best. Tax some pitch counts, some pitches along the way.
And it's not just the Twins today. I mean, this is their MO. They see the 3rd most pitches per plate appearance in the major leagues. Alexander puts away Eddie Rosario. So the Royals and the rest of the league have a tough time putting the Twins away occasionally.
Yep, there's the sinker grip, and look what it does. Last minute, sinks under the bat. Excellent job.
Buxton takes outside for ball one. Buxton has led off an inning in his first two plate appearances. Led off the third reaching on an error. Led off the fifth with a walk and scored a run. Now to Escobar. Buxton can fly. Escobar has a strong arm. Escobar wins this one. To the bottom of the sixth. 6-2 KC.
Beauty.
From Scott Alexander this past week. So Ned gives him a hug and says thanks for your efforts today. Royals coming up in the bottom of the sixth inning with a 4-run lead, and Matt Belisle will take over. Big ERA 6.25, but he pitched an important inning and a third last night, coming on as the Royals were rallying in the bottom of the sixth inning. Royals were down 7-2. They got 3 in the sixth against Felix, Jorge, and Buddy Bashirs, and Matt Belisle came in and threw a wet blanket on that rally, and the Royals would not score again.
Heavy sinker. He like Alexander likes to give up those ground balls. 6'4", 230. He's a big man. Slider changeup, sinker slider change, been around. Reds, Rockies, Cardinals, Nationals. Very competitive. That's the one you want there. 92 and straight. Coming into the ballpark today about 10:30, I come in and the Twins bus just pulled up and they were all filing in. The doors there on the way to the elevators, and Belisle was holding the door for his teammates, and I was coming in there too, and I grabbed the door and said, hey, I got it for you, bud. And I kind of put my arm around him holding the door and stood there, and he kept standing there, and he says, I got him. And he goes, were you trying to hug me? And I said, no, but I mean, he's a big guy. Anyway, nice, good personality. He was upbeat today because yesterday, long day at the ballpark, 7 hours plus the games. So he was in a pretty good mood.
Two and 2 on Bonifacio. Well, most of the Twins are probably in a good mood because they're going home after today. They've been on the road for a long time. Bonifacio down on strikes. He is 0 for 4. Had some Sonic Slam winners lately, so the pot is $100 for today. Robert Barber from KCMO. That's if the Royals hit a home run out of the park in this inning. But if the Royals hit a grand slam out of the park in this inning, Robert wins 25 grand from Sonic and the Royals. Slash foul by Hosmer. He has been on with his first 3 plate appearances. A single in the first inning, double RBI, runs scored in the third, and was intentionally walked in the fourth. Oh, and 2. Off the railing of the upper deck and down in the lower level. Another nice crowd. Important weekend series for both the Royals and the Twins. A lot of Twins fans here. 34,000 on Friday night. 25,000 for game 1 of the doubleheader yesterday. 32,000 for the nightcap. And Hosmer didn't even wait around for the appeal. He knew that he went around, and Belisle has struck out his first 2 batters. Join us in acknowledging the strong Tech presence in the KC community with a Tech Night at the K theme ticket. Thursday, July 20th against the Tigers. The theme ticket comes with a custom Royals portable power bank and a seat for the game. For more information and to purchase tickets, visit Royals.com/theme tickets.
Nice slow breaker. So how he didn't even get out of the box. He's keeping his toe hold in there. That means he's comfortable.
Oh, and 2. Salvi drove in the 3rd run of the Royals' 3-run 3rd inning. Royals scored 3 in the 3rd, 2 in the 4th. They led 5-0. Minnesota got 2 in the 5th. Royals got 1 in the bottom of the 5th. Right to Dozier at second base. Belisle out of the Minnesota bullpen and gets the Royals in order. T-Mobile Unlimited Baseball break. Mookie Betts, who was second for the American League MVP last year, has his second career 8 RBI game. John Farrell, who was here yesterday watching his son Luke pitch against the Twins, his team is up 15-1 in Toronto. And then Justin Verlander, he had gone 331 consecutive starts without a strikeout, or with at least one strikeout. That snapped today. It's just the 4th time in his entire career he's had a start without a strikeout. Mookie Betts, by the way, the 12th player in Major League history to have more than one 8 RBI game.
That's driving the bus. That's driving 3 of them.
Peter Moylan in the top of the 7th inning.
From one sinker baller, Alexander, to the other, Moylan, sinker slider. Likes to get those hitters to hit the top of the ball.
Jason Castro singled and scored in Minnesota's 2-run 5th inning. He's the number 9 hitter. Up the left field line. It is foul by a couple of feet, and it's 1-1.
Nice hustle by Soler. He wanted it. How about this? Look at the lefties there. They're 526, and that's because they get a good look at it from that side. Coming from the right side like that, the lefty can track it pretty well.
One and 2. And some left-hand batters coming up. Castro, Dozier's on deck. He's a right-hand batter. Then the switch hitting Grossman, and the left-hand hitting Joe Mauer. All of that leading toward Miguel Sano. Jorge Soler has been busy in left field today. He makes that play. There's one down in the 7th inning.
Sure is. Why don't we show his defense while we can? What a nice play here. Now watch this. He gets to the ball. Sanotha says, he can't throw. Really? Soler says, you go on me, I'll get you. Nailed him. Now this one, try me in the gap. Okay, I'm going to use my long strides and get there. He's telling Ned, in the meantime, I'm not just a designated hitter. I can defend. Very nice. That running catch there was beautiful. Showing some outfield skills. Moss, the other designated hitter that's getting most of the reps, playing first base today. So look, he's got some versatility out of his DHs. Moss can play outfield as well.
Low to Dozier. 1 ball, 1 strike. Royals were pleasantly surprised with Jorge Soler's defense in spring training. He arrived with the reputation of being below average in that area. That's hit right at Alex, who is starting in center field for the 2nd time this year. And it's a test in Arizona for many reasons. Number one, the sky. There's never a cloud in the sky there, so you're always dealing with a high sky. A lot of sunshine. Nothing in the air is routine in Arizona, and because of the thin air, every ballpark is huge, so you will be exposed when you play the outfield in spring training in Arizona.
I'm going to say the high skies and the wind. Those are the toughest elements there. Florida, moisture, humidity, heavy winds there in their ballparks. Two totally different climates for spring training. Interesting having Cookie Rojas up here talking about Cuba and how great the weather is there. That's way back in the 50s. You know, that 50s they had teams that had spring training there. So we'll see in the future, as our political relationships get a little bit better, that maybe they can get baseball back over there for spring training. You never know. Could see it there. Really great baseball climate.
Maybe even more importantly, guys like Jorge Soler and Kendrys Morales and Brian Pena could go home in the offseason.
Way more importantly.
Strike 3 over the outside. Moylan gets the Twins in order in the top of the 7th.
Let it go, mate. That's good pitching.
Is brought to you by Ford, going further so you can. And by Academy Sports and Outdoors, for all for less. 6-2 Royals. They are 6 outs away on defense from taking 3 out of 4 from the Minnesota Twins. And going into the road trip beginning tomorrow, tied for 2nd place. The Royals will play 3 in Seattle Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursday's an off day, and then next weekend interleague play, and the Royals will be at Dodger Stadium for the first time in 14 years. It'll be Soler, Torres, and Moss coming up, and we go to Joel.
Well, Ryan, yesterday we saw Nate Carnes, who does not seem to have as much bubble gum today. It might be more sunflower seeds. And he kept on eating more gum and eating more gum. And as Rex Hudler has taught me, sometimes you got to go down and do some really good investigative journalism. So I talked to Nate this morning. This was really a product of being bored during a doubleheader and a bet going on with another teammate, a competition perhaps. Nate would not divulge to me who the other competitor was, other than the fact that the team record for pieces of bubble gum in the mouth would be 58. He made it to 51 and then said that he stopped when it came to his attention that the television cameras had found him.
So we're to blame.
I apologized for spooking him, and he said he wasn't spooked. He just didn't want that to play out. Didn't realize the cameras would find him. He apparently does not know about the skills of our director, Steve Kurtenbach. But to answer a couple more questions, it was sugar-free gum.
Okay.
So his dentist will be happy about that.
Okay.
But, you know, you still have some of the sweetener in there. And he said that, you know, there's some endurance involved. And if you really want to get the gritty details here, he said that after about 12 pieces, the saliva gets a little stringy, so it's a challenge. He also said that at some point he'll go for that record again, maybe in the batting cage, and when he's done and he has broken it, he'll just take the big the big wad of 58, 59 pieces, and he'll put it out there in the dugout for us to see.
Wow, Joel, way to go.
That's all I got.
He had 51 pieces in his mouth.
51.
And the saliva got what?
Kind of stringy.
Stringy. Okay. Hey, look, I haven't never tried that many before, but good reporting there. Good investigative reporting, Joel. And double headers can be long, and we don't have too many of them anymore, especially day and night. The old days, they used to have double headers. We had like 4 or 5 a year, but there was only 20, 30 minutes in between games. So it makes it for a long day.
3-2 on Soler, facing Trevor Hildenberger out of the Minnesota bullpen. He's their 4th pitcher today.
How about that 3/4 arm slot there? Ooh, man, that's pretty tough. Little heavy sinking fastball, slider. Change up to both lefties and righties. Sidewinder, look at that little 2-seam action coming in. Tough.
One of the issues the Royals had in April and into May was very little production from the bottom of the order. And sometimes long stretches with no production from the bottom of the order, but they have gotten quite a charge from the 6, 7, 8, and 9 hitters in this series. Torres is batting 6th. He has singled, walked, and scored a run. Alcides Escobar, who's batting 8th, has driven in 2 and scored a run. Alex Gordon batting 9th. 1 RBI, 1 run scored today.
Torres raking. Look at how loose the hands are. Handsy hitter. Look at that. Just put it in play. Run like heck. You never know. Oh. Made it close. It just kind of looked like he had a little hesitation out of the box there. Might have cost him a hit.
A little bit of a shock, I think, when you take a swing and your bat comes apart.
Well, he broke Eski's bat. We just noticed that.
Ball 1 to Moss, who is 0 for 3. A couple of strikeouts and a fly out to deep center field. Alcides Escobar waiting on deck. He has 7 RBIs in this series. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Trevor Hildenberger, 22nd round pick of the Twins 3 years ago out of Cal, where he was a 5th-year senior.
Oh, man, that's a little parachute action there.
To the 8th inning, the Royals lead 6-2. Eighth inning. Royals 2 innings away from taking 3 out of 4 from the Minnesota Twins. And unless there is a miracle comeback in Detroit, the Royals would not gain any games in the standings. Cleveland leads Detroit 11-2 in the bottom of the 9th inning.
Can't get a game over 500 though. That's important.
Wood, Alexander, Moylan, and now Soria against Mauer, Sano, and Escobar.
Steady as she goes. Jack, 5 pitches: fastball, slider, curve, change, and a split finger. Slow curves, slow split fingers, usually with 2 strikes to drop out of the bottom for the swing and miss. Good velocity, nice bounce back season. Joaquin, trustworthy. Put the strikes in there, put the pressure on the defense to make the play, and they can do that.
Travis Wood, 4 innings, and he pitched into the 5th. He gave up the 2 runs. Scott Alexander, 2 innings. Peter Moylan, 1 inning. Two and 1. And if the Royals can maintain this lead, Scott Alexander is in line for his first major league win. Three balls and 1 strike on Mauer. When this series began, Minnesota was 7-1 against the Royals this year, and many of the games were decided very late. Minnesota Twins were outscoring the Royals in the 7th inning or later by a wide margin. 3-2 on Mauer. And they have still outscored the Royals 28-10 this year in the 7th inning or later. But in this series, the Royals have outscored Minnesota. Mauer down on strikes. 1 down in the 8th inning, and the Royals bullpen has been outstanding. In this series, 15 innings, 3 earned runs allowed.
I'm telling you, this is one of the reasons why the Royals are surging. Now, we like to talk about the offense, but how about that finishing split finger there? That's what we're talking about. When in games that the Royals have been down, they bring in the bullpen. Bullpen's been holding the other team right there until they can make a comeback. 24 come from behind wins. That's huge for the team. They're a little bit different team than Minnesota faced early in the season.
Curveball for a strike to Sano. He's been on base all 3 times with 2 singles and a walk and no runs driven in.
That's a good get me over breaking ball. Sometimes Soria will double up with it.
But I'm going to describe a hitter to you. Okay, with Sano at the plate.
Okay.
One of the most feared hitters right now in the American League. Would you agree?
Okay.
Certainly against the Royals.
Sano is.
Yep. Big, strong hitter. Power potential off the charts. A 70 or an 80 grade, which is the highest.
Okay.
Down on strikes, 2 away. At times will take some wild swings. Has a decent grasp of the strike zone.
Okay.
But you make a mistake in the strike zone, he will hurt you because he has power potential that you can't teach. And when he puts it all together, has a chance to be a big time run producer. Am I describing Jorge Soler or Miguel Sano 2 years ago?
Wow. I had a couple of other hitters in the league in mind when you were describing all that, but look, that's a great comparison. I think Soler, who's really unknown in the American League until this year, has the same potential as what we're seeing.
It seems like the same guy to me. Jorge Soler right now, and we don't see the Twins every single day. This would be a better question for somebody who's watches Sano every day, but Jorge Soler right now reminds me of Miguel Sano last year.
I agree.
And the year before.
I can agree. He's just beginning his career. He's young.
Now, will he get there? We don't know. We don't know. But all of those things I described, in my opinion, describe Soler right now and Sano a couple of years ago.
I see the comparison, and I like it for us. I mean, it's nice to see Sano from Minnesota step up, but we're more concerned with the Royals, and we like the fact that Soler at 25 years old has a high upside, and that's what they believed in. Dayton Moore, when he made the trade, got off to a slow start, slow spring training, but in baseball it's not how you start. Never has been. Unless you're a young guy and unproven, they'll send you back. Soler has a track record. Sano has a track record in the minors, and then last year they saw some upside offensively, but they had him in right field to start the season. He's not a right fielder. They found a play. They traded Plouffe, got rid of Trevor Plouffe, and they made a spot for Sano there, and now he's having a season. He started off fast, got a quick start, and that's important for confidence. And now we're seeing a young superstar to make it, possibly.
On cue, Soler waits in left field, and that's the inning. Royals bullpen continues to get the job done today. To the bottom of the 8th, Royals lead 6-2.
The exact time they need him to show up. Just on May 28th, Escobar was hitting a $172. Now he's got his average up to 231, 26 RBIs. Esky, great to see you back. Finding the holes, driving runs in, getting on base. Only thing we're not seeing is he's not stealing, but look, it's okay. We'll take what we're getting.
This is the second inning for Trevor Hildenberger. He was impressive in the 7th, 3 up, 3 down with a couple of strikeouts. Presents a Tough angle for a right-hand batter.
Good idea against a sinker slider guy like that guy, Hildenberger.
And he can do that. Just float one up there in the low to middle 70s.
Hate facing guys like that. Most righties will tell you.
We'll see that speed very often in today's baseball.
88 to 92. That's firm with your sinker. But then when he go ahead and stays on side of the ball and spins it in the 70s, that's what does the trick.
Remember I said barring a miracle comeback in Detroit, Cleveland led 11-1 at one point. It is now 11-8. Cleveland over Detroit in the bottom of the ninth inning.
All right.
Hildenberger to the bag. One down in the bottom of the 8th. Missouri Tiger fans, make sure to get your Mizzou Night theme ticket for the July 21st game when the Royals take on the Chicago White Sox. The first 3,300 fans through Gate A with this theme ticket receive this limited edition Mizzou branded Royals cap. Royals.com/theme tickets.
Nice looking cap.
One on Alex. He singled in a run in the 4th inning, and that gives him 9 RBIs in his last 5 games. Down and in, 1 ball, 1 strike. Two and 1. Todd, you're talking about how, you know, right-hand side armor will have trouble against lefties. Not this guy.
Heck, man, look at those.
Better.
Yeah, he beat this out, maybe.
That's the only play that Dozier had. He didn't have time to transfer to his throwing hand, and he gets Gordon for the 2nd out.
Yeah, no, this is the first time the Royals have seen Trevor Hildenberger, and he looks good. He's got a lot to offer. Those splits tell the story so far. One of the reasons why Molly has him here. Their bullpen has scuffled this year. Coming into this game today, their bullpen is ranked 13th out of 15 in the league with an ERA at 4.92.
One and 0 on Witt. 2 doubles today with a run scored. He's driven in a run. He's stolen a base. Left field, and Rosario picked it. He came very close to turning that into at least a triple, if not more.
Could have been an inside the Parker. That was an ole if I've ever seen one. Top spin, good for Whitley. Stay hot. Oh yeah, that had some sink on it, and look at, he says, look what I found. Good thing. Whitley, 3-hit Whit. First time anything's been hit hard.
He's running again. And Witt has 2 stolen bases today.
Check out Whitley. Look at him. Puts that head down. He's off to the races. Yeah, there's no hit and run there. Straight steal. Whitley stirring it up.
And he flinched as Hildenberger threw to Bonifacio. He was thinking about swiping third.
That's right. Escobar, the third baseman, he's looking in their dugout. He's looking over at Whitley. He's giving up some ground. He's trying to come in here a little bit over on this side, thinking, okay. He's feeling pretty runnerish today.
3-0 on Bonifacio. Hosmer would be next. Another one of those games for the Royals in this series where just about everyone is chipped in. 7 of the 9 Royals today have at least scored a run or driven in a run. And Bonifacio's on for the first time. Two hits and a walk for Hosmer today. 6 runs, 11 hits for the Royals. Had a huge offensive series against Minnesota. They have scored in this series 8 runs, 11 runs, 5 runs, and 6 runs. Merrifield to third, and he's in there. Castro realized he had no shot. 3 stolen bases for Witt today. Second time he has stolen third.
Yep, he feels it. Yeah, there's no chance. Feels it. Be careful. Make sure when you go over that base head first with your fingers, they're up. The palms are up. That's why it helps. He has that little oven mitten on his left hand there. Third back, go ahead. He's going to try to catch Locane. Locane has 15.
And you better make sure you're safe on that play there with 2 outs and a guy like Hosmer at the plate and a left-hand batter. Catcher has a very clear throwing lane down to third.
Yeah, that's the only time you steal when you know 100% you can. He knew it. Wasn't even contested. Castro didn't even throw it. Put it in his pocket. That's what you have to be a successful base stealer, is confidence. They're not going to throw me out. That's your attitude. Now he can score on a wild pitch. Anything bounces.
Up the right field line, foul by less than a foot.
Oh, Haas was talking to that one. He was saying sit. Sit down. Sooner the better, but it stayed up long enough to hook. Foot comes down right before contact. Hips opened up, stayed with it. Just a little bit too much top hand on there. The bat head was a little bit above the hands, and so it hooked it.
Two outs, 2 strikes. Castro gives the defense a sign in case the Royals try a double steal here. Bonifacio runs and Hosmer fouls it back. MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, is back with better picture quality than ever before. You can watch every out-of-market game live at home, in the office, or on the go. Blackout restrictions do apply. Visit MLB.TV for details.
Eduardo Escobar, the third baseman for the Twins, is way off. I mean, like, he's almost to the grass back there. And Whitley, he can get as big a lead as he wants.
Bonifacio runs again, and Hildenberger strikes out Hosmer. It'll be Kelvin Herrera to the top of the 9th inning. The Royals lead 6-2.
Win against the Minnesota Twins. Joel Goldberg down here by the dugout. Coming up after the game on Boulevard Royals Live, and stop me if you've heard this story recently. The bottom half of the order providing punch for the offense. Yes, they are able to do it once again. We'll talk about that. Plus the bullpen, no leaks in that pen all series long. They have come up huge. And of course, we'll talk about Travis Wood and his first start in a couple of years, and get you ready for Gerard Dyson and the Seattle Mariners. That coming up on Boulevard Royals Live. Ryan.
Thank you, Joel. Here's Kelvin Herrera with a 4.78 ERA. He is 18 out of 20 in save opportunities. This is not a save opportunity, and it's the second game in a row that Ned Yost has used Kelvin in a non-save opportunity. Royals bullpen has pitched 16 innings in this series. A 4-game series with Minnesota. They have allowed 3 earned runs and struck out 17.
Fabulous job. All of the bullpen.
Down and away to Jorge Polanco. Last night, Herrera gave up 2 earned runs, 3 total in a non-save situation. Big disparity for him. Non-save versus save opportunities.
So
that's a strike.
You know, I had to call Dr. Montgomery. Jeff Montgomery's off this weekend, but I still had to bug him. Didn't want to bother him in his off time, but I said, Monty, tell us what it's like to go out in a non-save situation. He said, you know, that I try to trick my mind. I try to tell myself, and my bullpen coach would tell me, hey, this is a big save opportunity before he'd go out there. Come on, we really got to get you to go 1, 2, 3. So he's trying to trick himself, but when you actually get out there and then you look around, you see the score, it changes, and it's just a competitive thing. So Monty said he's tried to trick himself. I thought maybe you could do that, but it's just not that way for some reason. The adrenaline's not the same, the pressure's not the same, but you know, you want to be able to have good numbers overall. It just doesn't work out sometimes. Hard to explain.
Remember Monty, just a few years ago, we were discussing this with him, and he said that what you just described. He also said that one of the things that he had to do to trick his mind was to pitch like he would in a save situation. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Not just the energy of a save situation, but use the pitches like he would, because he felt that in a non-save situation his teammates were saying, come on, just throw strikes, let's get this thing over with, and therefore he wouldn't pitch like you normally would. And Monty was not a, reach back and let it fly like Kelvin Herrera can do. He needed to use all of his pitches, but when he was in a save situation and you faced Jeff Montgomery, you had no idea what was coming next.
Upper 90s fastball. That's a blessing right there. Monty didn't have that. Somebody call it. Who wants it?
Escobar, one down in the 9th inning.
I mean, Monty would have loved to have had Herrera's 99. An 88-mile-an-hour changeup and an occasional sliders. It's a good control pitch for him. He's got all the tools, and he's been good in save situations. That's what you want him for.
Eddie Rosario, 5 hits last night, 0 for 3 today with 2 strikeouts. What have you done for me lately? Over the outside, strike 1.
But you can sure take that 5 for 5, dwell on it all night, check it out, wake up in the morning, still feel good about it. But once you get to the ballpark, it's over. It doesn't last long in this game.
Changeup. No balls, 2 strikes. Royals bullpen, by the way, has set down the last 11 Minnesota Twins. Going back to Escobar grounding into a double play in the 5th. To left field, Soler thought about making a play, but in a 4-run game, he plays it on a bounce. And so that is the Twins' first base runner since the 5th inning. And now we're going to have a pinch hitter. Max Kepler is going to bat for Byron Buxton.
That's a good decision by Soler.
You talk about the challenge of being a pinch hitter, coming in late in the game and then trying to gear up for a guy who's throwing anywhere from 98 to 100 miles an hour.
Toughest job in the game. I'll tell you that. Try to come off the bench cold, even though it's a warm day. Face the opponent's closer. It's not easy. Kepler 0 for 3 this year off Molly's bench as a pinch hitter. Sooner you get to swing, the better off you are.
Down to the count, 1-2.
It's a tough pitch. I wasn't a good pinch hitter, but Hal McRae was my hitting coach in 2 places, in Philly and in Montreal. Hal McRae, ex-Royal. He said, you got to swing at the first pitch. I don't care if you miss it by a foot or 2 feet. That gauges your swing to his pitch, and you're in the game. Until you haven't swung, and now you're 0-2 and you take pitches, you're not in the game. You haven't swung on his pitch. You don't know what you got. So it made good sense.
You don't have 2 or 3 at bats to.
No.
Well, I didn't get him this time, but I'll get him next time I come up.
That's it. And then you got to live with it. If you're a National League player off the bench, you might get 4 at bats a week, but there's 1 a game. It's tough. That's all you get.
Witt will take the sure out. 2 outs in the 9th inning. Rosario goes to second.
Turned out to be a pretty good 4-game series, I'll say. $28,775 here today. Jason Castro lost his bat.
throw that bat head at the ball. That's what some hitting coaches will say.
That's right. If you don't have a good grip, it goes to the back of the screen.
One ball, one strike. The Royals will be lining up to be Joel's guest after the game because a Salvi splash will feel pretty good today.
I agree. Joel might indulge himself as well. Of course, he never really has that decision. They always grab him whenever they want to dunk him. And Salvi, lots of times, will put a little water on the player. He really likes to get Joel.
The only thing for Joel is we've got what, about a 3.5 hour flight to Seattle.
Yeah.
I don't know how soaked he wants to be. There's the temperature on the field, over 100 degrees. Although Joel at times will make a fashion statement on the plane after the game. He'll get out of his suit and tie, or today his polo shirt.
Totally changes.
Yeah.
It's like Superman.
Just like Superman, only different.
Superman didn't quite have the Joey, but look, it's okay. He's working on it.
Still 2-2. Don't let him talk about you like that, Joel. This will be pitch number 21 for Herrera. Three and two.
Been missing last night and tonight, or today, up in the zone. Now, that pitch at that velocity up in the zone is hard to get on. You can't jump on that. You just foul it off the best you can. The one down low, it can be hit. One down around the mid-thigh area, that's where, you know, they like to hit that. But Escobar, I think he's putting it up there for a reason. He's looking for a little punch out. See if he's got Castro in swing mode here. See if he pulls the string. He's got an excellent changeup.
Royals are one strike away from winning this series, but the Twins have had one pain in the neck at bat after another in this series. Tough outs. Another foul ball. A walk, and now the potential tying run will be on deck. The potential go-ahead run is in the hole, and his name is Miguel Sano.
Ooh.
Brian Dozier is 1 for 4. This is pitch number 25 thrown by Herrera, and he almost drilled Dozier. So with this next pitch, Herrera will have 26 today. He had 26 last night.
This is not good for Seattle tomorrow.
Yeah, I was thinking you say so often that you're not going to get any sympathy cards from the other team.
Yep.
But you may get a thank you card, and the Twins may get a thank you card from the Seattle Mariners if this makes Kelvin Herrera unavailable for tomorrow.
Right.
1-2, down to their last strike again.
Team plays 2 games, doubleheader on Saturday, 1 tense game on Friday. They're going to get used. Got to go.
Royals win the series 3-1. They have won 6 of their last 7 series. They are back above 500 and tied in second place with Minnesota, 3 games out.
All right, I'll give it to you. El Toro! Ole!
Why not?
Hey,
Close the game out.
let's go ahead. Let's get on the bus and forget about us and continue their road warrior ways. Believe it. 3 out of 4, they'll take it all day long. All series long. Another series back on that series win bus. Ned Yost, yeah, saying way to go, fellas. Way to battle hard. Looking ahead to the 4-game series. They were on Thursday. They weren't exactly sure what was going to happen. It's worked.
A lot of smiling for Ned Yost, especially with the Royals offense in this series. Whit Merrifield today, 3 hits, 3 of the 10 Royals hits, 2 doubles, a run scored, an RBI, and 3 stolen bases. Twice today he stole 3rd.
Woohoo! Oh yeah, that's what we're talking about. Play the game. Look at him. Feeling runnerous, feeling good after a doubleheader. I talked to him today. I said, "Are you tired?" He goes, "Absolutely, I'm tired." Couldn't tell.
6-2 Royals down to the field. Here's Joel.
All right, Ryan, thank you very much. It's 3-hit Whit, 3 stolen base Whit, and 3 wins this weekend for Whit and the Royals. You know, I know every one of these games, every one of these series are important, but to come home just for one quick weekend last time before the All-Star break, how significant was this series win against Minnesota?
It was big, especially coming off our first series loss in a while. You know, it was big for us to respond with a win, and that was nice, and I'm going to enjoy this one.
Hey, it's hot, bro.
Salvi almost dropped the bucket on his head. That is not your job. All right, Whit did say he was waiting for that one and excited. But again, back to just how important with who this was and coming off of that series loss to Detroit.
Yeah, it was huge for us to bounce back. Minnesota's a great team. They're right up there at the top of our division. So for us to come in and win a 4-game series against them, that was big for us.
You know, it's been different guys every single game, and oftentimes everyone in the lineup. How significant has it been what Alcides Escobar and Alex Gordon have been able to do in front of you batting 8th and 9th?
When they're going, I mean, it's huge. It's a huge lift for this offense in this lineup. They're 2 really good hitters that got off to kind of tough starts, and to see them really kind of get back into their game and play it well, it's huge for us, and looking forward to many more good games from them. And
last thing for you, you had the 3 hits, a couple doubles, 3 stolen bases. I mean, I'm sure that everyone was a little bit tired on both sides after a very long day at the ballpark, but how did you get that energy up here today for that finale?
It's the big leagues. I mean, you got adrenaline and energy every day, so it's not too hard to get excited to come out here and play in front of these fans and at this level.
Oh, you'll see them back here later this month. Good luck on the upcoming road trip.
Thank you.
Whit Merrifield, couple of doubles, 3 hits, and another Royals win.
3-1 against Minnesota. Minnesota's long road trip ends at 5-6. And now back on the road. 6-2 our final score. We'll be right back.